So thanks everyone for joining today. We're going to be doing a deep dive into the Financial Hub and Houzz Pro. So you probably either joined because you're super excited, you love talking about financials, or maybe you're in the opposite camp and it's the last thing you want to talk about, but you know that you should. So regardless of where you are, we're going to give you a great overview. And the purpose here is to help you grow revenue, maximize profitability, and simplify your financial management all in one spot within Houzz Pro. So Andy and I are both on the product marketing team, and she is also our QuickBooks experts. Maybe you've spoken with her as well. So we spend a lot of time talking to our customers and understanding how you're using Houzz Pro, any feedback you have on the features to help us improve it. And then we also work closely with our technology, our product, our engineering teams to make sure that we're building the right features for what you're looking for. So if you have any feedback, feel free to share it either during this webinar or afterwards with either of us. That's really how we determine which features we're going to be building, is based on the feedback that we're getting. So today, as I said, we're going to be diving into our Financial Hub. And the purpose really is to make it as simple as possible for you to have a great understanding of the finances within your business and make it easier for you to manage your finances. So within our Financial Hub, we provide ways for you to track your project costs and profitability with our budgeting tools, streamline your payments and get paid faster with online payments, as well as access capital. So whether you need funding to grow your business or your clients are looking for financing to take on larger projects. So here is what we will be covering today. We'll talk about budgeting and profitability. So we'll show you how you can track your project costs and stay on top of your financials with our budget feature. We'll also get into getting paid. So we'll walk through our online payments and the financing options we have for both you as well as your clients. We'll take a look at the financial reporting features we have available to show how you can gain those insights into the financial status of your company. And then we'll wrap up with accounting and how you can keep everything really organized with our QuickBooks Online integration. So I will start. Let me just share my screen here. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get started with our budget feature. This is a relatively new feature that we've launched for our custom plans. And we know staying on top of your budget is really crucial for running a successful business. So let me show you how you can use this budget feature to help you track your estimated costs versus your actual costs, so you can really stay on top of everything. So within a project, if you scroll down here to finance under budget, you'll see right now we have a blank screen. We haven't started to build our budget. So the budget is built from documents that you've already created within Houzz Pro. So if you click here to link an estimate, once you have an estimate, a change order, or a purchase order already created, you can just select that here. And then you can check the one that you want to link. If you have multiple estimates, those will all show up here. So we'll click Sync Documents. And then you can see all the line items and categories from your estimate were automatically carried over here. You have all the estimated costs. There are no actual costs since we haven't started spending anything here. And then that variance is highlighted. So again, right now the variance and the estimated match, but as you start spending against a project, you'll see that variance number change. And again, right now the variance here, it's all in green. That's great because we haven't started spending here. So there are a few ways that you can link costs. You can go back to that budget setup. Say that you've already created some purchase orders here. You can choose those that you want to link. Just click Sync again. And those will be automatically added into their relevant areas here. If you've created time and expenses, you can also go down and you can link those in. So let's say we have our framing labor line item here, and we have an expense against framing. So you can link that in here. Save budget item. And oops, you can see we went a little bit above what we had estimated. So that is highlighted here in red. So it's a really great way as you end up populating all of these columns, you'll have a simple visual way to see where you are over, where you are under. And so you'll have a better sense of how your costs were on that job, as well as for future jobs. Maybe you need to increase or decrease the estimating in different line items. You can also, if you go up to actions here, you can export it to an Excel if you wanted to share it with anyone else on your team. Any questions here, Andy?
I don't think so. Let's see. Nope, no questions as of yet.
Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna switch gears a little bit and talk about our overall financials tab and then online payments. So some of you may have noticed in this left navigation that there's a new tab here, and that's financials. So we've consolidated a lot of the different financial features that were sort of floating around the platform in different areas to be under this financials tab. So it's more intuitive and easier for you to find your reports, for instance, your QuickBooks dashboard, your online payment settings, as well as our financing options. So we'll start with online payments here. We'll exit this for a second. So in Houzz Pro, your clients can pay you through bank transfer or credit card, all in one really seamless and professional experience. And so there are a lot of great benefits to this. One is that you get paid faster, so you don't have to wait on checks or track down any missed payments. With credit card, you get paid within about 2 to 3 days, and with bank transfer, it's 1 to 2 days. It's also convenient for your clients. I mean, I personally love to pay online. I'm sure a lot of your clients do as well. So they can pay you anytime, anywhere, which is a convenience factor we know a lot of people like. It's also secure and reliable, so the payments are processed in a really secure way with industry-leading security. And then you also stay organized. So any payment you get is automatically synced with your financial documents and reports. So you don't need to manually log anything, and you can have a really easy way to track your payments. So if you don't already have online payments set up, if you go here to this online payments section and click Get Started, there's a form that you'll need to fill out. It probably takes 10 to 15 minutes, and this is standard industry forms for any online payment processing system, basically where they verify your business information, your social security number, all of those details to make sure that you're verified to accept payments. So again, you just click Continue, enter your information, and then your business will be all set up. And then let me just switch for 1 second to show you what it will look like once you have those payments set up. And yes, thank you, Andy, for launching that poll. We would love to just know how you're accepting payments today. Let me just go to this other screen where I can show you what it looks like when it's set up. Any questions before I do that? There are usually questions around, the fees and all of that, so I'll get into that as well.
No questions in the chat.
Okay.
Feel free to chat us if you have any questions about any of the topics we're covering.
Yes. So once you've filled out all that information, your business is approved, this online payments landing page will change into the settings. So you can see there are different tabs up here. The first is your payment methods. So you can choose the ways that you allow clients to pay you. You can toggle on and off who want them to pay you by credit or debit card. You can see, again, there's a 3.5% processing fee, or by bank transfer, toggle it on or off, then just save the changes down here. We also have financing options, which I'll get into in a little bit. Up here on bank details, you can see which bank is connected. If you want to update that, very easy to do here. And then the processing fees. So as I mentioned, there are processing fees associated with any online payments platform, but we've built in a few different ways for you to handle that. One best practice that we often recommend is building it into your overhead for any project so that the clients don't need to see it or think about it. And that, for instance, is here adding fee into your overall markup. So I can show you as well what it looks like when you're on an actual document. So you could add it to your markup. In that case, the clients don't see the fee. You can choose a client to pay the fee during processing, or they'll see a line item about the specific transaction fee, or you can choose to just cover it yourself and deduct the fee from the payment that you get. So let me just show you an example of how you can manage that. I didn't save my changes here, so let me save that. I'll show you how you can manage it on an individual document level. So if we go in here to this project, we'll go into our estimates. So let's just create an estimate here from a template. So here again, if we have the estimate, if you scroll down, and this will be the same thing on a proposal for our designers, you'll see this line item here for the processing fees. So you can choose to add it to your overall markup, which is what we were just discussing. If you do that, you'll see this additional column is added here called processing fee markup. So you can see that we're adding it to every line item. This little eye icon that's crossed out means it's only visible to you. So you'll see as well, for this specific estimate, the markup is also only visible to you, as well as here, this tax item. So then we add here this processing fee markup, not visible to the clients. They'll just see that total number. And you can also choose if you prefer to have the client pay fee or to deduct the fee. One question that I recently got was, it's hard for you to know exactly what your client is seeing on that estimate. So one option here is you can just copy this link. Let's say we copy it and put it into another tab. Okay. Yeah, so you can see again, for instance, there's just that total line item as well. And in some cases, when you're offering online payments, the clients will also see those credit card options or bank transfer options that you're providing to them. Okay, perfect. So before we leave the topic of online payments, I just wanted to talk about our instant payout option. So as I said, our standard payments take about 2 to 3 days, but there are cases where you may want that money faster, whether it's just to keep a project moving along or to pay an employee or a vendor. We do offer an instant payouts option. So you can choose to take advantage of that for one specific payment that you receive, or you can opt into it for all future payments. So for instance, you can click here, enroll in auto instant payouts. So all payments that you receive will automatically be transferred into your bank account just within a few minutes. You can also do that here back in your online payment settings. Up here where it says instant payouts, you can choose here to toggle on that, that auto instant feature if you would like. And so every time you get paid, in this little bell icon, you'll see a notification. So for instance, this was on March 26th, you got paid and you can choose to get an instant payout. So if you click into that, obviously March 26th was a few days ago, so it's not relevant for me at the moment. But if it's within that 2 to 3 days before the money lands into your account, you can choose to take it instantly. And then you'll also get these notifications so you know exactly when it's complete.
Had a couple questions there. So I just put in the chat, we were asked the processing fee for credit card and bank transfer and what is the instant payout fee. So I linked the Help Center article, 3.5% for credit cards. For bank transfer, it's 1.1 for the Pro Essential plan, 1% for custom, 1.2 for Ivy users, and then the instant payout fee is 1.5 in addition to the bank or credit card transfer fees.
Yes, awesome, thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, we had a question about the budget. Where do you enter a client expense, something they won't be invoiced for, but is a project expense? You can enter expenses such as that under the time and expense entries. Expense entries don't currently sync to QuickBooks, but we are working on, we just did a survey, if any of you saw it not too long ago, I think a week or two ago, about expenses. So we're working on revamping that and working to potentially have those push over to QuickBooks. But in the interim, you can always enter a purchase order. Let's say it's for a small purchase you've made to a retailer and you're not going to bill the client for it. Create a purchase order on the project. So it's counted on the project budget. And then you would record your payment and all of that. That pushes to QuickBooks. And then you can match that expense in your bank feed in QuickBooks.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about the financing options. So we have business as well as client loan options available through Houzz Pro to help support your growth. So let's start with our business loans. These are available through our partnership with Stripe, and Stripe is our payment processor for online payments. So for those who are eligible, you basically need to be offering online payments. You should be getting these emails on a monthly basis that give you the breakdown of the loans that you're eligible for. So it's a really easy way to access flexible financing options for your business, whether you need it to pay employees, maybe to buy equipment, or just to cover general expenses. I've actually been speaking with a few of our pro customers who have recently taken advantage of this, and they've all been like, it's super easy. It's a flat fee, so there's not interest associated with it. And you can log in if you click, for instance, on this view your offer button, go in and see exactly what you're approved for. And again, because it's for those customers who are already offering online payments, Stripe has all your business details already. So you'll get an offer that's really like ready for you to take advantage of. I would love to hear if there's anyone in this call as well who has taken advantage of it. We just launched it at the end of last year, so relatively new. And then we also have financing options available for your clients. And so this is a great way to help you take on bigger projects, as well as to get clients to move ahead with a project faster. Maybe if they've been a little worried about where they're going to get those final funds from, having financing available can help them just say yes to the project a little sooner on. And a lot of our customers who have taken advantage of this and have offered it to their clients have been surprised at some of the clients that have been interested. So even if you may say, oh, he's a doctor, she's a lawyer, they have plenty of money available, just having this option, maybe they would rather take out a loan to move forward with that project instead of using other money that they have. So right now we have two different financing options available for contractors, one for designers. So if you go here to this client financing section, we'll start here with our personal loans. And this is through a partnership with GreenSky. So because it's an unsecured personal loan, the limit for your clients is $100,000. And there's a setup process for you. So you just click Get Started. You will sign up as a contractor, and then GreenSky will train you, give you all the relevant information so you can start offering these loans to your clients. And when you're signed up, the loan offer will automatically be included on the bottom of those estimates or invoices that you're sending to your clients. And so you'll have everything you need to offer them. We also, just about a month ago, launched a partnership with Figure to offer HELOC loans. So a HELOC is a home equity line of credit. So that means it's against the loan is against the home equity in your house. So the loan amounts can be much larger. It goes up to about $400,000. There's no sign-up process needed on your end. So I'll show you these loan offers. The Figure loan is already embedded in the bottom of an estimate or a proposal or an invoice that you're sending to your client. The client can just click on See HELOC options, and then they have a very fast online approval and sign-up process. We say here 5-minute approvals and funding. So it's really fast on their end. And again, for you, there's no sign-up, no fees. It's really just you letting them know that this is available. So as I mentioned, the Figure option is already included in the bottom of those documents. If for some reason you would rather turn it off, you can just click this box here where it says Include HELOC as a payment options. If you uncheck the box, you can see you've removed HELOC and your clients won't see it. But again, even if you may think that clients may not want to see it, or you don't want to work with clients who need this financing, I think having it, from what we've learned at least, has been a great way just to show clients that you're there to support them. You have options available to help them get the projects that they want. We also have a webinar coming up with the Figure team who offers this HELOC option April 17th. So if you're interested in learning more, look out for an email about that next week. Any questions?
Yes, we have a question about online payments. If you choose the option to add the fee to markup and it's auto-calculated in estimates, is it estimating based on the 3% for credit card payments or 1% for bank transfers?
So it estimates based on that higher amount, based on the credit card amount. If you turn off credit card and say you only wanted to offer bank transfer, then it would estimate based on that 1.1%. And we also include a little bit as a buffer for taxes, just to make sure that you're covered and you won't be losing any money.
And that option is within the project, correct? If they only take credit card or only take bank transfer?
That would be, let me show you again. That would be here under your online payment settings. You can choose it at the company level. So here under payment methods, you can choose to say you don't want to accept credit card. You just toggle that off and then click Save Changes down here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure. One other thing we're investigating, it would be great to hear if there's any interest, is being able to choose, say you're okay covering the fee yourself for bank transfer, but you would rather offset it for credit card since it's a higher amount. We're investigating that as well. So I would just love to hear if that would be helpful for anyone. Okay, then with that, Andy, I'll hand it over to you to cover our financial reports.
Okay, great. So yes, financial reports. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Alrighty, so in our financials hub over here, we have up at the very top under analysis, our financial reports. And we've got everything in here. So we've got our payments report. This is going to be your incoming, outgoing payments. We'll just take a quick look at this. So you've got lots of filters up here. You can filter by projects and leads. We've got online payments, manual payments, and then report type. You can filter by either income, if you want to see incoming client payments, or expense, if you want to see outgoing vendor payments. And then you can filter by active vendors, groups, and of course, change your column settings, and then just click Generate Report to update to the filters that you set. We've also got in here the tax liability report. So you've got sales tax liability. You can filter this by cash or accrual, which projects, and of course your date range, which is going to be important for whatever your filing period is with sales tax, and then generate that report. You can also drill into those specific documents. Maybe the tax rate doesn't look right, or the total doesn't look right on an invoice, or you're getting a discrepancy in QuickBooks. You can drill into that document to see exactly what the, I'm sorry, let's go back here. Yes, if you click on the invoice number, you can go right into that document and you can see the tax rate that was selected. Always important, especially if you're in a state that deals with multiple sales tax rates, to verify that you're using the right tax rate. For those of you in California, we love to change our tax rates on a regular basis. So always keep up with the CDTFA or your Department of Revenue to see if there's updates to your sales tax rates. Let's go back over here. And then we've got your payouts report. Sorry, I skipped over that one. This is really great. I'm not going to have anything in here because I don't take online payments in my demo account, but you would be able to click into this report and see your payouts for your Houzz online payments. So it will break out if you get, say, a lump sum payment, our credit card and bank transfer processor will lump same day payments into one deposit into your bank account. So you can go into that payouts report and get a detail of what documents were paid, projects, and the individual amounts making up that lump sum deposit, plus any fees that were taken out if you chose to absorb the fee yourself. And then we've got our incoming transaction reports. This, of course, is going to be for your invoices, and then outgoing transaction reports, purchases, purchase orders, things like that. We've got our time billing reports down here, time billing by team member, and then by project. And then, of course, your selections tracker, which will be a global tracker report across all projects. And some of you may have seen, I just launched a survey yesterday for a project profitability report. If you saw that pop up, please, I would really appreciate it if you filled out that survey. I am working on a project profitability report that is going to tell you everything incoming, everything outgoing, what is your gross profit, what is your revenue on that project. So you can track as the project goes along and make sure you are profitable. You can also track by multiple projects is the plan. So you can see, okay, this client, these 3 projects for this client, they were profitable, they were not profitable. And then let's see, are we ready to jump over to QuickBooks integration?
Yes, there were no questions. I just launched a quick poll to see what other financial reports you would like to see. As Andy said, we're working on project profitability, but anything else would be great to know.
Yes. Okay, so QuickBooks integration. I know I saw some familiar names, so I know I've talked to some of you about the QuickBooks integration. I'm just going to give a brief overview. So what I will start off with is when you are not connected to QuickBooks Online, how do you get connected? The first spot you want to go is, of course, to the Financial Hub. And here under Accounting, you will see your QuickBooks Online dashboard. When you click into that, you will see this screen. You're going to see our training video. We will be updating that very soon, hopefully by the end of the month, so that it's got all of our new, some of you that may have seen this video, we've launched tons of new features and settings, so we'll have that updated. But this does give you a general idea of how to connect, how to do your mapping, and then how to handle transactions in QuickBooks, which is very, very key, very important to the QuickBooks Houzz Pro integration. And then over here, there's a few settings to turn off or on in your QuickBooks account. And then finally, your connect button. So once you connect, again, QuickBooks Online dashboard and settings is here now under the Financials Hub. Once you are connected and you go to your QuickBooks integration page, it's going to take you right to our dashboard. So what you're going to see here, obviously I have a very pleasant green banner showing everything's up to date. The last sync time right here, we've got the date and the time. And then down here, of course, we have all of the filters that you need to see what information you want to see. You can filter by all the different document types. Everything is right here. And then status. So you've got tons of statuses. So we just wanted to make it very customizable. And then you've got, here I've got all my recent documents. And you can see some of these I've got, we of course don't have actual vendor bills in Houzz Pro, but we do sync the vendor bill and the bill payment to QuickBooks Online. So you can see sync status of all your documents, the purchase order, and it's tied to, these two are obviously tied together. Your invoices, it's showing sync complete. This one, not ready for sync. And once it's approved or paid, it will push over to QuickBooks. So, you know, typically with proposals and POs, they need to be approved to sync to QuickBooks. POs marked paid and billed, we'll sync them to QuickBooks. Proposals once they're paid, invoices once they're paid or issued. You also have the option to sync a draft. So I'll show you that on the document level. Now, let's say you want to see related items. You can click that here and it would show you, let's just go right there. It'll show you all the corresponding documents that are related to that invoice, obviously the same project. So going back to the dashboard. Now, if you had any sync errors, let's say I deleted an invoice that pushed over from Houzz. I deleted that in QuickBooks by accident. you would see a red banner. You would also see a red marker button right here, status button, and it would tell you that you have sync errors. You can click into that, and here in the details, it will tell you what the specific error is. We designed it that way so you can troubleshoot on your own. You don't have to reach out to support, wait for support to figure out how to fix it. So we tried to be pretty comprehensive and give a lot of detail here on how to fix specific issues. Now, the best feature of our QuickBooks Online integration is your custom mapping. So coming up here to the QuickBooks Online settings, this takes you first to the general settings page. Let's say you've used Houzz Pro for a year and you just got a QuickBooks account, or you just connected your QuickBooks account. We've got right here your sync date. This should come last, I'll just mention, after you update your settings. But you can backdate as far as you want, and it will historically push over transactions and documents to QuickBooks. But before you do that, you definitely want to come through and update your settings. One of the biggest issues I've seen as in my QuickBooks integration support role is people connect, or their bookkeeper connects, and then these settings don't get updated. These all will default to Houzz Pro default bank accounts and income and expense accounts. So you want to make sure you're updating to your Wells Fargo checking. Where are you depositing client payments? Retainers and proposals. You want to always make sure this is a liability account if you are opting to reflect those payments as true deposits in QuickBooks. Bill pay, of course, what bank and what credit card are you paying your vendors from? We are looking, I know this question comes up a lot, we are looking on the document level at having multiple credit card payment options. So yes, I know, having been in that role for so many years, that is highly requested. So hopefully that will be coming soon. It is on our roadmap. We've got other settings here, as well as document sync exceptions. So you can turn off PO sync. Let's say you use bill.com, or you prefer to just record your cost of goods sold directly in QuickBooks. You can turn off PO sync or turn off change order sync for our contractors. You can also split out, this is a new setting, split out your cost and markup in QuickBooks. So the invoice in QuickBooks would show blue lamp, the cost you've input in your document in Houzz. Underneath that, in the QuickBooks invoice, you would see blue lamp markup. And so it's broken out. If you want to get really granular, if you're not sending invoices to your client from QuickBooks, you can split that out. We've got our product mapping. So this is where it gets very detailed and granular. You can break out your income and expense mapping. So let's say you can see here, I've created these categories: kitchen and bath and flooring. And then I've got my accounts that I created in QuickBooks: kitchen and bath income, kitchen and bath cost, flooring income, flooring cost. Same thing with services. I broke out shipping, painting, electrical. So essentially you would create your desired income and cost of goods sold accounts in QuickBooks, utilize one of our system categories or create your own, and then map here. And then any product or service you associate with these categories goes to these buckets in QuickBooks. You run a detailed profit and loss from that. That is the point of it. So you can run your profit and loss in QuickBooks and get very granular detail. How well am I doing in painting? Should I continue with electrical sales or my handyman division or something to that effect? So you can see that all broken out in QuickBooks. So let's go see what a document looks like and how that all filters over. And I will show you QuickBooks as well. So we're going to come over here and we'll just go to an existing proposal. So we've got the sync indicator right here, not ready for sync. You can click on this and it tells you, let me just scroll up. Once approved or paid, this document will automatically sync to QuickBooks, like I had mentioned. But with all of our documents, estimates / proposals, invoices, and purchase orders, you can always sync a draft version. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you'll see sync in progress. So that updates. Again, if we had any sync issues, maybe I deactivated this customer in QuickBooks, you would see a red status bar. You can click that and it will take you to the dashboard and give you the details of the sync error. So what I am going to do is come down here and log a payment. Okay, there we go. We'll say we got a check, and let's backdate it to the 20th. You can send your receipt to your client and we'll click done. Now, same thing here. We should see the sync status indicator, sync in progress. And then once done, that will switch to sync complete. There we go. All right, QuickBooks. Let's go over here to our project. Now your projects will sync to QuickBooks Online as sub-customers. So you can see here, I have my sub-customers. You will have your client, and then you'll have your project as a sub-customer of that client. So let's say your client has multiple projects. You could run a report by client for all projects in QuickBooks, or by the individual sub-customer, which again is the project. So now we can see the estimate here, and we can see the payment. Now, coming over to your bank feed, very important. If anyone on this call has ever talked to me, I drive this home always to you or your accountant. It's very important to watch the bank feed to make sure things are being handled correctly. So like, for example, here's my credit card. I had recorded a payment on a purchase order. So I here have my bill payment. I'm going to match that. Let's say I, have my monthly Apple Music subscription, office supplies. You can go ahead and categorize that because that's not something you would record in Houzz Pro. Same thing over here. We've got our bill payment. Now we've got our online payment here, our check payment here, sales receipt. We can match that. You want to be careful. If something comes from Houzz and you're not finding a match here, you don't want to categorize it and add it. That is where people I've seen get into trouble. Go investigate why maybe a payment didn't sync over, a vendor payment didn't sync over. You can always click on a transaction and click the match button. Let's say you got 2 online payments in one day. Then you would come here and you would select your multiple payments right here. So the QuickBooks Online bank feed, you definitely want to make sure you are matching transactions. We have plenty of information, Help Center articles on this if you have other questions. And let's see, coming back over here. So with the QuickBooks Online integration, I do want to mention, we offer 30 days of free support with a QuickBooks Online integration expert from our Houzz team. Again, some of you may have spoken to me in the past, but our integration support, 30 days of free support if you are new to the integration, if you're connecting for the first time, maybe you've been connected for a year or 2 years, but you've never spoken to anyone on the integration support team, please reach out through the support link in your account and set up that time. Have your bookkeeper set up time with the support rep, because it's very important that anyone that touches QuickBooks or the financial documents knows how the integration works, so that you're not ending up with a mess in your QuickBooks account. Do we have any questions?
Nope, no questions.
Okay, perfect. So let's see. So the last thing I wanted to show is right here. And this is all about our financial hub. So we will be adding content here. Definitely would love feedback of what you would like to see or what you have questions on. But this has got everything you need to know about our financial hub. So you've got the financing solutions like Katie was talking about, financial management. It's got everything here. And you can also sign up for our newsletter as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is where we're just adding more content if you maybe have questions around budgeting, or you just need some more help on the business side, we're always looking here to add articles and other resources just to help you stay on top of everything. Okay, well, thank you everyone so much for joining. Again, feel free to reach out to our team at any time, whether it's about QuickBooks specifically or any other questions. We're happy to help. And have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.